Welcome, everybody, to our first ever Indie Spotlight on Drak Shadow. And what better way to start than one of the games that started the popularity of indie games, Braid, from Jonathan Blow. And obviously, we are already starting up on a pretty grim scene. But we can go ahead and move. And it looks like we're a shadow guy. All right. So let's go ahead and go down here. Oh, look, a nice little constellation. So this is our main character, Tim. And yes, he does look like Harry Potter's second cousin twice removed.
Minus glasses.
Minus glasses, and also with the obvious Hogwarts look. Now, this might be a little confusing to you, Alex. So for some reason, this is World 2, so does this technically qualify as World 1?
Does it?
That wasn't really very hard, was it? Actually, believe it or not, one of the interesting things of this game is you do not start at the first part of the game because the first part is technically the last part. So, World 2 is where we're actually going to start. And it's Chapter 2, Time and Forgiveness. So I'm going to go, since I already wrecked Alex's voice in Phantasy Star, I'm going to go ahead and read these really quick. Tim is off on a search to rescue the princess. She has been snatched by a horrible and evil monster. This happened because Tim made a mistake.
You rescue a princess!
Not just one, he made many mistakes during the time they spent together. All those years ago, memories of their relationship have become muddled, replaced wholesale, but one remains clear. The princess turning sharply away, her braid lashing at him with contempt.
Nice.
He knows she tried to be forgiving, but who can just shrug away a guilty lie, a stab in the back? Such a mistake will change a relationship irreversibly. Even if we have learned from the mistake and would never repeat it, the princess's eyes grew narrower. She became more distant. Our world, with its rules of casualty, with its rules of causality, has trained us to be miserly with forgiveness. By forgiving too readily, we can be badly hurt. But if we've learned from a mistake and become better for it, shouldn't we be rewarded for the learning rather than punished for the mistake? What if our world worked differently? Suppose we could tell her, I didn't mean what I just said, and she would say, it's okay, I understand. And she would not turn away, and life would really proceed as though we had never said that thing. We could remove the damage, but still be wiser for the experience. Tim and the princess lounge in the castle garden, laughing together, giving names to the colorful birds. Their mistakes are hidden from each other, tucked away between the folds of time, safe. So I know that was a lot of reading right there, but this is one of those things you have to kind of get used to with these new worlds. So now we're going to go ahead and start up the gameplay of Braid. And for those who don't know, if you have not watched the game Indie Game the movie, watch the movie Indie Game the movie. This actually goes into the development of Braid, which is, he basically used kind of a dev kit for Mario to make it. And obviously the music is probably the first thing you notice. It's very classical.
And yet it's on Microsoft console.
Yes, it is. Well, at this point, Microsoft was the indie game console. So, all right, now we're going to climb up. Obviously, the controls in this game are really simple, so it's not hard to figure out, which is really helpful to anybody who's like new to games. We also do want to collect these puzzle pieces.
Spike's instant death, I take it?
Yes. But death does not work in the usual sense in this game, so just keep that in mind. Believe it or not, that's actually modeled after the Goomba design.
Of course it is.
So weird. It's one of those reasons to love indie games, is that they take our childhood loves and not necessarily warp them, but make them, I don't know the word I'm looking for. They reimagine them. And I got all 3 puzzle pieces. I will try and do that in first time in the world as much as I can, but sometimes it takes a while.
The Cloud Bridge.
Well, we can't actually go through there because we need a key.
Oh, we need that puzzle piece, don't we?
There's the key. I will admit, one of the better parts of this game for me is that it looks like a old school painting.
Yeah, it's very watercolor.
Yes. And so that adds a whole other layer to it, for me anyway. Now that puzzle board we'll be coming back to for each world, so... Because in order to complete the game, you have to complete the puzzles. So already we can't complete this one. But that's alright, because I know how to fix that. Oh, nope. I did not do it right. Okay, so this is what I want. No! Dang it! I timed it wrong again. So I think this is how I have to do it. I'm not gonna lie to people. There are gonna be a couple of levels where I'm gonna have to refer to a guide because some of these puzzle pieces are really hard to get. No, that's not the way to get it. So, I know there's a way to get it. I just don't remember how. Oh, I remember. Okay, so this is a cool concept, and I actually want to show this. So we can go into this puzzle, right?
Right.
And we can start completing it. We don't have too many of the pieces as of yet, but we can at least maybe put a few of these together. Or can we? We may not have the necessary pieces yet. So we will come back to this world in a second. There we go. Hunt! Gee, I wonder what that means. Could it mean that we have to kill all the Goombas? That is, in fact, exactly what it means. Now, I will admit, there is one complaint that I would have about this game. And that is that the music is very lullaby-esque.
It's very calm.
Yes. So, leap of faith. We will probably have to make a couple trips through these worlds. So, keep that in mind, Alex. Ah, no! Yep, that's right. And I have not done that yet, so here we go! Ah, no!
Oh. X.
Wait, press X?
Wow.
So, you do not technically die in this game. So, one of the main inspirations of this game, according to Jonathan Blow, is that around that time, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time had come out.
Right, exactly what I was thinking.
And so, his friends actually brought up an interesting idea. You know, in Prince of Persia, you had only so many charges that you could reverse time. What if you could just have a permanent reverse time?
Wow. So,
that's what Jonathan did, is he said, okay, I'm going to make it so you can reverse however many times you want. Okay, this is going to take a couple of times. But that's okay, because I don't have charges for it, so... Ah!
Oh!
Dang it. Nope! Nope!
Whoa!
Dang it! I was right there. There we go. Okay, so I got that puzzle piece at least. Ah! Dang you! I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of cursing in this game. Because Drak is going to make a lot of mistakes. Thankfully, there's no death counter. Right, people? But I still remember like seeing some of the early YouTube videos of this game where it's like, oh my gosh, you can reverse time. It's so cool. There's so much more to it. Oh, look at that. I'm sorry, but the princess is in another castle.
Oh!
F you! We do not reference that sentence here! Okay, so that is actually the end of World 2. Which would in turn open up World 3. But I'm a bit of a... Alex is going to be so surprised at me today. We are going to complete this game.
All right.
Because unless you complete it, you do not get to see World 1. And therefore, everything is kind of leaves you questioning. So, here we go. Cloud Bridge now that we have time unlocked, we should be able to do this other puzzle now. So a lot of this is just going to be repeating stuff, so I apologize. We'll keep this as least as we can, but it is so great now to be playing an indie game on Drak Shadow. Can I just say that right now, my friend? It is so great to be playing a Drak Shadow indie game. Not made by us, but you get what I mean!
Yes.
Yes. So first impressions on Braid thus far, Alex. Are you impressed by it? Are you disappointed?
It's just a little too early because we've only gotten like it's just barely getting started here.
Yep.
It's got a nice atmosphere. That much I can say.
There we go. And then can we do this? No. Can we do that? Nope.
Makes me think of Banjo-Kazooie. Or
Kind of, yeah.
Or Banjo-Tooie, which I guess is a little more appropriate comparison, because that game you actually put the puzzles together like this.
Do I have the extra one that I need? There we go. What I need, though, I have not been able to get, I don't think. Is that it? No. Oh. There we go. Crap. I still don't think I have enough yet. Alright, let's keep going through the levels, and we will unlock this as we go. Okay, hunt. And I actually learned my mistake from this one. I also love the sound effects. It's like... Now, this actually does bring up an interesting question for me anyway, is that, you know, Jonathan Blow, when the PS4 got announced, he came out specifically with his sequel game, not necessarily a sequel, but his next game, The Witness. And we have not seen hide or hair of it since then. And I was really interested in it when it came out.
PS4, you said?
It's called The Witness.
Yeah, it's for PS4, you said?
PS4, yes. It's exclusive there.
I see. Yeah, I wonder what's up with that.
Yeah, we have not seen hide nor hair of it since, which is really frustrating. Okay, so here's what we do here. Oh, I think I know what we need to do here. We actually have to time this out. Okay. Nope. That didn't do it. We'll get it. Come back here, you little Goomba. Thank you! Alright. Now we can go forward. And I think that's all the puzzle pieces on this level. It might be. No, it is not, because I think there's one more that I needed to get. Right there. So. Okay, I know how to get it. It's just gonna be timing it! Nope. That's not it. No! Okay. We'll let that one fire. This is the one part that's frustrating about Braid, is that the time travel has to be used
a lot
constantly to get the pieces that I need. Okay, so There we go. All right. That took forever, but we got it done. We're gonna let it drop.
It's even got not piranha plants.
Yeah, I mean, everything was based off of a Mario engine. So, you know, a lot of people might get on Jonathan Blow's case. I've seen some people do that. Don't you dare say it. Don't, no. We did not see you say that. Okay, so back here, we're back to the cloud bridge. That was not smart. So I actually have gotten this question a couple of times, and maybe we can shed light on this now that we are actually talking about an indie game. What is an indie game? What actually corresponds an indie game? Because the person who asked this question has noticed that people like EA claim to have their own indie studios and things like that. So what actually constitutes an indie game? And shut up, dog barking.
Well, that's kind of a vague. It's kind of a vague definition, really.
So an indie game is basically, by definition, you know, in current day AAA gaming, you have hundreds of people working on a team.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, during 8-bit and 16-bit, you didn't have that many people. So there was a lot more raw profit from the game.
Yeah.
That's what an indie game is it's either... I've seen teams as big as 10 and no bigger than that in some of the current studios. If there's bigger than that, please let me know.
I have to imagine there's some bigger. Indies usually...
But it never reaches above 100.
Usually,
kind
yeah.
of thing.
I mean, by definition, indie independent is free of the major studio systems. Well, right?
Yep.
If you apply like the logic of an independent film to gaming, then you're free of like any of the major studio systems. It's sort of your own self-developed product.
Okay, we have actually almost got this set up, I think. So as you can see, it's starting to create a picture.
Yes.
But funniest thing, you'll notice that in the middle of that picture is a table, right?
Yes.
So what would happen if I were to say, I don't know, put that right there? Actually, I want it a little bit more over. Are you ready for me to just blow your mind right now?
Okay.
But in a lot of cases, indie companies are like 1 to 2 people. So I can actually step on it.
Nice.
It's technically a platform. I actually did not set it up right, but we just got to inch it over a little bit more. There we go. Since technically it is a table, it's a solid object, in the picture you can utilize it. So this blew my mind when I first discovered it, and I wanted to compliment Jonathan Blow just off of that, because that is such ingenuity with that kind of a property now. That is unheard of these days. Now, believe it or not, I actually screwed this up a little bit because I killed the Goomba a little too early. So I'm going to go back a little bit and see if maybe I can... Oh, I forgot. I can go just through the door and go back. So I need that other Goomba. So here's what I'm going to do in order to get the Goomba where I want him. He can also use the platform. So let's go ahead and take this back over and bring the Goomba back into play here. Okay, it has to be close enough that he can see it. So, can you walk on it now? Nope. You might actually have to, like, merge it up there. Does that work?
Oh, come on, dude, walk.
It's kind of tricky. You have to, like, merge the platform with the platform he's on.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Crap. Okay. But now I know how to get him down. So...
Get on down here, you little rat.
There you go. He looks like he is having such a bad day. There we go. So now we have this one. We already have the hunt one, so we don't need that. Leap of Faith. We already have all the ones in here, I think. We'll do a quick check, but...
Yeah, you do, because your puzzle pieces are all filled.
They're all colored? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I don't have to worry about things like this.
Woo!
Oh my gosh, I'd just like to point this out for the record. Alex can be proud of me. I completed something! Oh my gosh, I actually completed a level! And I'm going to complete this game somewhat. There's actually a super secret ending, and no, I'm not willing to do that, but...
I'm sorry, but our princess is in another castle.
Okay, so now
Let's
I
go
actually
back
have
later.
to assemble the puzzle. So we gotta go back in here. I know this is gonna seem a lot like repeating, but
Because that's what it is.
that's what it is. And here's the thing too. So normally we get on a game's case for padding game time out like this.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, it actually makes a little bit of sense because you can go through these levels as many times as you want and try and figure out how to actually solve the puzzle. And then you get the reward at the end of seeing the story complete itself, so to speak. All right, so now that we have this, let's go ahead and complete the puzzle here. And there we go. So now we have a complete picture here, and what is this supposed to be, you wonder? Somebody apparently is spilling a little bit of wine. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah.
And yes, I can actually swap it around. Is it opposite?
Whoa. It's upside down.
I believe this is the right way
Oh,
to place it.
I see a girl there.
Yeah, there is a girl with wine. I believe that's how you place it. So
Yeah. He's reaching for his wine, and the girl's like, "Oh, come here, you." She's being playful.
Yep.
And let me guess, that's us.
I'm not sure actually. There's a lot of speculation on Braid's plot. I'm not gonna lie there.
Nice.
When I finished this game, it didn't make enough sense to me, so I actually looked it up. There's a lot of discussion and debate on the plot of Braid.
That's how you keep people coming back to your game.
And here's the thing too, Jonathan has not really contributed any to it. I think
Keeping
he's
it-
left it open for
yeah.
an intentional reason.
Keeping it close to the chest.
Now I know that he's come out when people don't get what he was actually trying to create, he has come out on the forums and tries to explain it.
Right.
But he has since stopped doing that because not everybody is going to see his vision in everything, and I applaud him for that because that takes patience. All right, so let's go ahead and go into World 3, which obviously this is like a family room. This must be like a bedroom. So let's go ahead and get in here. Time and Mystery, Chapter 3.
Time and mystery.
All those years ago, Tim had left the princess behind. He had kissed her on the neck, picked up his travel bag, and walked out the door. He regrets this to a degree. Now he's journeying to find her again, to show he knows how sad it was, but also to tell her how it was good. For a long time, he thought they had been cultivating the perfect relationship. He had been fiercely protective, reversing all his mistakes so they would not touch her, likewise keeping a tight rein on her own mistakes. She always pleased him. But to be fully crouched within the comfort of a friend is a mode of existence with severe implications. To please you perfectly, she must understand you perfectly. Thus you cannot defy her expectations or escape her reach. Her benevolence has circumscribed you, and your life's achievements will not reach beyond the map she has drawn. Tim needed to be non-manipulable. He needed a hope of transcendence. He needed sometimes to be to be immune to the princess's caring touch.
Mm.
Off in the distance, Tim saw a castle where the flags flutter even when the wind has expired, and the bread in the kitchen is always warm. A little bit of magic. Well, that's incredibly vague, but as you can see, there's a lot more doors.
Yep.
So there's more to do here.